spooky theme music for the spooky podcast. We don't actually have any spooky theme music, so I hope somebody spooky makes some for us. I hope it's Spooky Rachel that does that for the spooky podcast. This is the usual music, but I kept saying spooky.
I see what you did there.
Because it's Halloween.
It's Halloween. It's a very special podcast, Michael.
Yeah. Well, it's not. It's just a normal podcast.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not great.
Never mind. So.
Yeah. So
Fair
we
enough.
saw Thor.
We did see Thor.
But we're not going to talk about it.
No, heavens no, because this week is Halloween.
It's Halloween. Also, it's not out in America yet.
In that America.
It's not out next week.
That's terrible that they don't have a release date for things like that over there in that there America.
That America. It's not out till November the 4th. So the general American public still haven't seen it.
Do you know who gets them released earliest, which I find hilarious? Italy.
Yeah.
Italy gets very early release.
Because if you don't let the Italians have it, they'll smash your windows.
I don't care. I don't want to see it. If it's not here first, I don't care.
Thor. Did you see, though, on the topic of Marvel films, did you see the new trailer last week for Black Panther?
Yes. The revolution will not be televised. Gil Scott-Heron and Vance Staples in a combined soundtrack. Unreal.
I don't know what any of those things you just said.
Doesn't matter.
No, it does tell me.
So Gil Scott-Heron is the song that you hear in the background. Gil Scott-Heron is a famous jazz music. Well, early hip hop kind of prototype. He kind of founded a lot of the spoken word activism kind of thing. And his most famous song is "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised."
Oh yeah, I know it.
Yes, I'm sure you do. It's quite famous. But they took Vance Staples, who is a very popular modern rapist, and they've combined the two into a really kick-ass song for that trailer. The original one had "Run the Jewels." It's that really cool song that you hear in the teaser trailer that they released. And they've kept that really strong music game up with the Vance Staples, Gil Scott-Heron crossover track, which is really, really cool.
What did you think of it other?
So it got me super pumped. Super pumped.
Just keep saying super pumped.
Super pumped.
What did you think about it other than the music?
Thought it looked deadly.
Did you?
I did.
I
think it's going to be a bit messy.
Yeah.
It's very big.
I don't know.
You're introducing a lot of the mythology very quickly.
Yeah. And also, it looks like we're heading for a showdown between the good and evil version of the character.
Which I really hate.
Iron Man versus Ironmonger. Ant-Man versus Yellow Jacket. Hulk versus Abomination. Captain America versus Red Skull. And now Purple Black Panther versus Gold Black Panther. See what I'm saying?
Purple and gold being the colours of royalty. Yeah. Really, really unsubtle thing there, Marvel.
I know.
Also, no white eyes in the mask on the Purple Black.
I know, you can see his real eyes.
You can see Chadwick Boseman's eyeballs.
His actual real eyeballs.
His eye peepers.
And his surrounding. I'd say they'll probably zip over or something.
Something like that. I don't know, it looks kind of cool though that way.
Did you see the observation that was made on Twitter during the week that the only two white people in the whole trailer are Martin Freeman and Andy Serkis.
Both of whom seem to be of nefarious character by birth.
True, but that means like the only two white people in the movie are Bilbo Baggins and Gollum.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, they're the.
Didn't even realise that.
They're the Tolkien white guys.
Oh my! Oh, that was excellent.
It was very good.
That was excellent.
I wish I hadn't stolen it from Twitter.
Oh, that was excellent.
Yeah, it's very good.
Oh, that was deadly.
It's a good pun. Thanks, Twitter.
That's genius.
Yeah.
What smart guys are out there just sitting around being like Tolkien white guys?
I wish I hadn't. I wish I'd
so clever.
Yeah. I've just stolen.
I wish you thought that as well. I thought you were fucking genius for a second.
No, I just stole someone's joke.
Flat
out joke stealing. That's what we do on this podcast.
It looks like Andy Serkis is going to be deadly. I quite enjoyed him in Age of Ultron.
Yeah,
as Claw, and now he's got the actual powers of Claw without the very annoying 60s orange jumpsuit cyber face.
Yeah,
depends on which version you see. He's orange a lot of the time as well.
The comics version of Claw is physical sound.
It's just a vibration.
Yeah, he is sound. He's made of sound.
That's ridiculous.
And the claw hand is the only part of him that's...
It's the big megaphone looking thing.
Yeah, but it's the only part of him that's like matter.
Oh.
The rest of him is all sound. Solid sound.
I don't think I like that.
Well, that's you can't do that in a film, so that's why it's...
Abstract concepts don't work on film.
That's why it's not that anymore.
But I did think that he looks like he's going to be very, very good.
Sorry.
Michael B. Jordan looks like he's going to be a lot of fun.
Michael B. huge. He's ripped us.
Yeah, no,
He's
quite shredded.
Yeah.
He's quite shredded. He was good in Apollo, though. You saw it in Creed.
Yeah. What?
Not Apollo, Creed.
We talked about Apollo last week.
No, the boxing film.
Creed, yeah. He was
Creed.
good in it. He's ripped, though. And he's got those little dots all over him.
Scarring. Tribal scarring.
Is that what it is?
Tribal scarring.
Like Seal.
No, I think Seal just has scars.
Oh, is it?
I think.
I don't know. I'm no Seal expert.
I don't know. I know it's probably a nod to African tribal scarring, which is an old tradition that is done in certain tribes in Africa.
I thought it looked like the nanobots of his suit might have been coming out from the bumps, but I don't think they are. I think they come out of his collar.
It could, though.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know.
You don't know yet.
We don't know. Chadwick Boseman looks like he's going to be reprising African accent number 2.
Oh.
In
the trailer, if you listen to it, one of his Dora Milaje, his bodyguards, his female bodyguards.
She looks pretty cool.
She says to him, "Don't freeze."
Don't freeze.
And he says, "Why would I freeze?" And they're from the same country. Why are they pronouncing
There's a big
freeze
variation.
differently?
Yeah,
Why are
there's
they
a big.
Ben?
I
why
enjoyed
are they
his
pronouncing-
sass to his bodyguard, though. I never freeze.
I never freeze.
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 But yeah, I don't know. I'm optimistic. I hope it's not another Ant-Man. I hope it's bigger than Ant-Man. I think it will be bigger than Ant-Man because Marvel hasn't got a really strong black character in there. A really strong black character. They haven't had a central strong black character. Falcon is great. I'm not saying he doesn't exist, but he's not a central character in any part of
War
the Marvel
Machine.
movies. I'm sorry. Not even. I forgot about War Machine. That's how central that particular black character
Luke
is.
Cage.
No, in their cinematic universe.
Literally a strong black character.
In their cinematic universe. Netflix universe doesn't count, and you know it. Do not try and walk me into this. No, but I think they're probably going to go quite heavy on this one, and kind of hopefully it's well written. I don't know who wrote it.
No, I don't either.
I don't know. I don't know. Was it Ta-Nehisi Coates? Did he take over from? He wrote the series.
No, I don't know who wrote
The
it.
journalist Ta-Nehisi Coates. He's a really famous black journalist. He wrote the Black Panther series for Marvel for a long while, and then he launched Black Panther and the Crew. Did you hear about that?
No.
But it got cancelled for being too racist.
Oh, good.
But Ta-Nehisi Coates is a black activist. He's quite famous as a black rights journalist and activist. So it was interesting that it got cancelled.
No, I don't know who wrote it.
Did you hear about the big scandal at the Marvel Con thing?
No.
The big one where, the retailer conference that they have every year?
Yeah, I know Marvel, yeah.
Yeah, so they have this thing where they meet the retailers of various comics, and there was a real divide between new comic book owners and veteran comic book owners.
Comic book shop owners.
Yeah, comic book shop owners, sorry. With regards to all the gender swaps and racial diversity that Marvel was bringing in. Yeah, a lot of the older retailers started screaming like racial slurs and stuff.
Really?
And they had to shut down the
conference.
Part of the conference. And Marvel are quite disgusted with their retailers.
It's a very... We could do a whole podcast on
I know,
Marvel's... You see, I'm kind of against it.
The deliberate diversifying of...
I'm all for diversity.
No, I know.
But I wish they would make up new characters.
Yeah, this shoehorning diversity crap that they do.
Wolverine's a girl now.
Wolverine's a girl now.
Hulk's an Asian.
Tony Stark's a black woman.
Yeah. Black teenage girl.
Ironheart.
Yeah. Riri Williams.
Couldn't even call her Iron Woman.
No. Exactly stupid.
Ironheart is stupid.
Iron Woman. It's Margaret Thatcher.
Ooh, that's the Iron Lady.
Yeah, she's a lady.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, sorry, got off track. I was just fascinated that they were so vocal about it, and this was because there was a lot of stuff involving that. They pushed back Punisher got a release date.
Yes,
November 17th.
November 17th,
which I'm looking forward to.
It looks good.
Very soon.
Yeah,
very soon.
It's only 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That should be good.
Yeah, it's about 2 weeks.
Should be good.
Yeah, that'd be fine. No one will notice.
Speaking of Marvel TV,
Yes.
it's time for our most popular segment. Sorry, no, not our most popular segment. That's completely wrong. It's time for our least popular segment.
Least, Michael.
And our least popular segment has theme music now.
Oh no!
Oh no,
Does it?
It's not loading.
For the love of God!
This file type is unsupported.
Oh, that'll be the end of that then. We can't do the segment this week.
Oh, we can't do the segment.
No. Oh no.
Hold on.
No, this is very unprofessional, Michael.
This is not.
So anyway, just to come back to that topic. Oh wait, we still having technical difficulties? Yeah, fair enough. So just to come back to that issue, there was a lot of kerfuffle about all that a couple of weeks ago when those two parties kicked off with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was the whole thing where Marvel announced they were going to do a partnership with a gun manufacturing
not a
firm.
gun manufacturing firm. Northrop Grumman.
What is that?
They manufacture the B-2 stealth bomber.
Yeah,
a weapons manufacturer.
weapons. Yeah, so an arms.
Stark.
Yeah, Stark Industries, exactly, in
Yeah.
real life. And then the Vegas shooting happened, so that was cancelled. And then the original creator of... They pushed the Punisher release date back because they felt that it would be insensitive to reveal a gun-toting vigilantes.
I don't know if anyone actually has said that's a fact.
No, I think it was confirmed.
But was it?
I think it was confirmed because the creator of the Punisher came out and voiced his disapproval of this because they still went ahead and announced their partnership with
Northrop
Grumman, which sounds like Solomon Grundy's cousin. Yeah. So I was really fascinated by all this. Anyway, you found the theme music.
The theme music. Let's go.
Fucking fanboys.
No one likes Inhumans, no one likes Inhumans, no one likes Inhumans. Man won't watch Inhumans, man won't watch Inhumans. Mick can't stand Inhumans, Mick can't stand Inhumans. It's real bad.
Is that your chosen life partner? And you?
It's we have to say thank you to Polka Dot Sundays for vocals and the Rachel Bot for samples. Wow. So let's hear about Inhumans.
What? No, let's not. Can
No.
we just look? It was a great theme song. I actually really enjoyed that part of the segment this week. Can we just?
No, we're just going to talk about it. Karnak. As you remember, Karnak was
The only good character.
the only kind of good character. So he's
Passable
with the drug dealing lady,
The lady.
and the drug dealing man has killed the other drug dealing man in a fit of jealousy.
Yes.
And he's ready to kill Karnak and the drug dealing lady when they come out of the tent after their coitus.
Post-sex murder.
So they come out of the tent, the man shoots at them, Karnak's powers are coming back a little bit, and the only good part of the 5 episodes so far, Karnak karate chops the bullet in half as it's flying through the air.
Fuck off.
That's great.
Bullshit.
But one of the bullets hits his lady friend.
Yeah, duh.
And she gets shot and she goes, I'm shot. So anyway, they run away. And he, later on, flicks the bullet out of the wound from behind using his special powers.
Hang on.
He flicks the bullet out.
Hang on.
Yeah.
That's not his powers.
It is now.
No. You can't change 5 episodes in, Michael.
That's his powers now. So then...
God's sake.
Then other drug dealers come...
Oh, fuck's sake.
And shoot the original drug dealer.
Oh, sake.
And try to track down Karnak and his girlfriend to kill them.
Who cares?
And they capture Karnak because his powers malfunction again. And they capture his girlfriend. But then Gorgon finds them.
Oh, fuck.
And Gorgon kicks the ground with his boot, not his hooves.
Yeah, because hooves are expensive.
Hooves are expensive and hard to walk in, as you know. And that knocks them all down. And then Gorgon and Karnak's girlfriend run away.
Please stop.
And the people follow them through the jungle. And then in the jungle you hear gunshots and screaming. And then Black Bolt and Medusa are there. And they're all reunited.
Just like that.
Yeah, in the middle of the jungle.
After 5 fucking episodes.
Just traipsing around the jungle.
Just boom.
Yeah. Meanwhile, this is not a joke.
Fuck.
Crystal has...
Dopey Royal Sister 2.
With her boyfriend, Dave.
Sorry, what?
With the man Dave, the man who was used to go out with the vet, and the vet came to help Lockjaw
Oh yeah.
Dave.
Yeah.
So Lockjaw.
Human love interest number 1.
Yeah, so Lockjaw takes Dave and Crystal around the island.
Fuck.
And they finish on a beach.
Oh fuck.
And they go skinny dipping.
To 90s music.
Yeah! Again!
Fuck.
Twice!
Did they buy the rights to 190? Was it Waterfalls by TLC?
No.
Don't
it's
go chasing Inhumans.
It's not great. It's not as good as
Leave them alone on the moon.
It's alright. You pulled back a bit. It's not as good as the official theme music of the segment. So look, it continues to be shit. It is awful.
Shock.
It's awful.
Amazement.
The main thing, I'm thinking now that in future we'll do this segment every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So there's a bit more content.
So I can fucking relax once a week.
There's only 3 episodes left.
Who cares?
It's not good.
Who gives a flying fuck?
Me.
It's Hawaii 5-0 with a guy with a mute
Hawaii
and a
5-0's
woman
better.
in need of, and Sinead O'Connor. Mute and Sinead O'Connor do Hawaii 5-0.
It's not good.
And there's a dog.
The dog's good. Also, I figured it out. Do you remember that you really didn't like the opening sequence?
Yeah.
It's the Justice League Unlimited. Oh, not the Justice League Unlimited. Sorry, the Justice League.
The original Justice League opening.
Yeah, it's that, but with
You're right.
the Inhuman logos and a little cartoon dog.
So it's been done before, so it's something I already saw done worse.
Yeah.
Pretty much every single Marvel thing that I see on TV. Something I've seen before, but done worse.
But
Not Netflix
except
included.
Netflix.
Not Netflix
Except
included. That's not
Netflix.
TV in the same way.
also, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. did Ghost Rider.
Shit.
You've never seen that done well.
Fair.
You have. Special effects are about the same.
Special effects are about the same. Probably a little bit better in the movie.
Yeah.
I watched that arc in the YouTube supercut. It's fucking awful. They didn't even use the proper Ghost Rider. They used a fucking car Ghost Rider.
Oh, you and your backlash against diversity.
It's
It's Robbie Reyes.
That's nothing to do with the Robbie Reyes. You can have Robbie Reyes, just have him on a bike.
But Robbie Reyes.
Now
doesn't
they've
have a bike.
expanded. Have you seen the Ghost Rider that rides a mammoth?
Yeah.
Have you seen that in the comics?
It's good, isn't
It's gas.
it? We move
That's
on.
from Legacy, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, because it's Halloween, we've decided to focus on a really niche little genre in comics.
Yeah.
That does quite well for itself a lot of the time. Horror in comics.
Yeah.
And because we're such a fan of the elevator pitch here at Michael and Benjamin's podcast, we've decided to have not 1, not 2, but 3. No, not 3. Damn it, I ruined my bit.
Do it again.
4 spooky elevator pitches. Haunted elevator pitches. Based on horror comics that Michael and I enjoy.
Well, that was the original idea.
That
To be
was.
honest, while I was researching this, I kind of basically talked myself out of wanting to see any of these things as a movie or a TV show.
So what are we doing?
Well, no, I'll still tell you. I'll tell you
Oh.
why I talked myself out of it. But just so you know. Just so you're not too disappointed. Want to go first?
Well, I guess. So, the first comic that I've chosen is Image Comics Fatale.
Never heard of it.
By Ed Brubaker and... Ooh, crap.
Fu Manchu.
Something Phillips. That's...
Josh Phillips.
It's not that.
Dave
But
Phillips.
anyway, every year for Image Comics, this particular duo come up with a kind of noir-based, old-style illustrated comic
Right.
for the thing. They do Criminal and other things, and every year they come out in deluxe kind of hardcover formats,
fancy.
and they're released. But Fatale is a rather unusual one because it's an LA kind of noir.
Spell Fatale.
Fatale, Fatale, like
not-
femme fatale.
It's not fatally.
No, Fatale,
Oh.
definitely.
Oh.
Wow, Fatale, that's crazy, wild. You guys are doing some weird stuff over there. Wow,
I don't know if that's been picked up.
wow,
Good. That's better. Luke Wilson.
wow. It's Owen Wilson.
Oh, I thought it was Luke Wilson.
Luke Wilson is my brother. Wow.
Go back to talking about Fatale.
Yeah, so anyway, you like this, Michael, because the central horror of this is Lovecraftian
I like a
in
Lovecraft.
nature, also known as cosmic horror. So, H.P. Lovecraft, for those of you that don't know, was a mildly autistic man that wrote a series...
Whoa. Was he
Yes,
diagnosed?
yes,
Really?
retrospectively, but yes.
You can't diagnose someone
Of
as
course
being
you can.
autistic
Of course you
retrospectively
can.
based on their work.
No, it's like a documented thing.
I would.
It is widely...
I will be researching this, and I will
Fine.
be hosting the segment Ben's Retraction next week.
Go ahead.
Okay, carry on.
Studied at university. So
Ooh!
I didn't mean it like that. So
I've got almost as many degrees as you.
Fuck you. He pioneered what was called cosmic horror. He is kind of the originator of cosmic horror in a lot of ways.
And racism.
And some pretty heavy racism.
And sexism.
Yeah, he's not a great guy.
Yeah, and fear of sex.
That's where all the tentacles come in, I guess.
Yeah.
So, cosmic horror is the idea that human beings are microscopic in the scale of
The universe.
horror. So there are things beyond human control, usually referred to as the Elder Gods or Cthulhu, to those of you that are keeping up, which came from the Mountains of Madness, which was one of his. It's either a novel of his or a short story compilation of his. But anyway, the idea of the Elder Gods, which are a bunch of terrifying, monstrous beings that are just beyond the veil of human comprehension in another dimension. And most of his stories feature around humans glimpsing into that particular universe and being horrified to death
and
of
going
the results. Going mad. They become madmen.
I prefer mental.
They go absolutely mental.
Yeah, see,
and not in a good 90s rave way, lads. in a oh Jesus, I've cacked myself.
So how is Fatale akin to a Lovecraftian?
Fatale centers around a classic kind of 50s noir setting. We have a hard-boiled detective.
Oh, you like that?
I do. I love them. Both of mine have elements of this in it this time, which I'm quite happy about. And it centers around a very important woman, Joanna. Joanna is the important woman.
So it's not Lovecraftian.
Well, in that
If there's
an actual woman, who isn't sexistly. She is the central character of the whole thing.
What?
And it is named after her because she is, in every sense, a femme fatale.
Forgot to turn on your battery.
I did. She is, in every sense, a femme fatale. And it starts. So I'll show you the casting.
What do you mean in every sense? She's a woman and she's dangerous.
Yes. In the 50s in America.
Okay, does she have lipstick?
She does.
And a hat.
And she uses sex as a weapon.
Oh, typical woman.
Typical femme fatale.
Yeah,
steady on, Michael. Alright, Lovecraft, take it easy. So, John is very important. And there are a couple of male characters that are quite important as well. The most important one for my initial pitch will be a man called Dominic Raines. Not to be confused with Memphis Raines from the 1999 Gone in 60 Seconds starring Nicolas Cage.
Or Roman Reigns from wrestling.
Or Roman Reigns from wrestling. Neither of whom are this person.
Or
Dominic Raines.
Oh no, that's porn. We're going to say that one.
Oh, I know you're talking about. This reporter is a real do-gooder, Dominic Raines, in the 1950s. Okay. He's a reporter.
R-A-I-N-S or R-E-I-G-N-S?
Or A-I-N-E-S.
Ah, Raines.
It could be Raines, actually.
Yeah, maybe he's Mexican.
I don't know, I've never heard it. I've never heard it. I'm going to say Raines.
Okay.
And he is, and this is pretty much how we're going to play it as well, he is doing a story on police corruption in the LAPD.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah.
And during his investigation, he has seen the woman that spends a lot of time with one of these corrupt detectives, and he's fascinated by this woman. She has an otherworldly allure.
When you said that, you made the symbol for big boobs.
Otherworldly allure.
An otherworldly allure.
And we find out slowly that this is Joanna.
Right.
And he can't understand why this man is with such a young woman. Joanna is around 25.
Oh, Cara Delevingne.
And the man, the corrupt detective, is around 60.
And he has trouble understanding why a 60-year-old man might be attracted to a 25-year-old woman.
No, why they are together. They are a couple.
Oh,
they are a couple.
And
he can't understand this. So eventually he convinces her to have a drink with him during this investigation.
Right.
And she lures him into this world. And we're not really sure why she's decided to take advantage of this young man. But we find out that later there is an imposing threat to her safety. So Joanna, as it turns out, as it conspires, and the whole reel and heel of the jig of this entire thing has been cursed during World War II. She is immortal.
Oh, classic. Like Duncan MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod.
Yes. Who?
Duncan MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod.
No, you gotta help me out
there.
You
don't know Duncan MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod? The Highlander.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know. I just know him as Kevin. Whatchamacallit? Kevin. What's his name? What's the name of the actor?
From the movie? Or
I know
the TV
Sean
show?
Connery's in it. And then
No, Duncan MacLeod is from the TV show. Connor MacLeod is from the movie.
I don't give a shit. Anyway, so he's immortal. Generation gap there, maybe.
Yeah, Feelings are hurt now.
Anyway,
She's immortal.
she's immortal.
Yeah.
She has the power of suggestion, not unlike the Purple Man from Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
She can tell people what to do.
Yeah.
And all men find her hyper attractive.
Right.
And the reason for this is
Because of her allures.
because of her allures. And the reason for this is that she was to be a sacrifice
Oh, classic.
during World War II by the Nazis to the Elder Gods to help them win World War II.
Nazis. Real dickheads.
The man that liberated her is a man with second sight, and this is the detective.
Right.
From...
and when they met, they were the same age.
And when they met, they were the same age.
Right.
And now they are not.
Yeah, obviously.
Years later, he is aging at a rapid pace.
Mm-hmm.
And the pro Elder God team, the Elder God worshippers,
The bad eggs.
are out to finish the sacrifice
Right.
to bring their gods into this dimension.
Fucking
Okay?
Classic. Bad.
So, because he's getting so much older, her protector, who is called, I think it's Hank,
Hank.
he decides to sell her back to...
Can't just go around selling women.
the reason being is he has contracted lung cancer.
Oh, no.
And he wants a few more years on this planet. So he goes to the
Oh, so he's a bad egg now.
yeah, he goes to the Master.
Are you spoiling this?
Yes, but
Oh,
this
good.
is from 2011.
Okay.
So I think the statute of limitations on spoilers is gone.
Okay, we're right.
And he goes to the Master, which is the name of the leader of the Elder God worshippers,
Obviously.
who has a lot of Elder God powers. He's like a vassal of the Elder Gods on Earth. And he makes a deal to give her up. She gets wind of this, and she needs to find a new protector, someone new to help her.
Ah,
and
this
she
lad.
focuses in on Dominic Reigns. So the reason that I chose this as a series is because it takes place over multiple decades.
Yeah. Oh, it's a TV series.
Yes, it's a TV
Right.
series, and I was taking the True Detective bent with it, where you could have different
Very good.
genres and different things played out at different points in
Also,
time.
True Detective has referenced Lovecraft a little bit every now and then.
So yeah, there's the Spiral and things like that. The
King in Yellow.
the man inspiring the King in Yellow. Great Victorian text. So the people that I've chosen to play them is, for Joanna, Elodie Young, because I adore her.
There's
But
a shock.
she's
This is a shock, isn't it?
perfect. She's perfect for this particular role.
Ben cast Elodie Young in Shocker.
Yeah, well, okay.
I wonder who's next.
You have Christina Milian, I have Elodie Young. Leave me alone.
I don't have Christina Milian.
If I did, I wouldn't be doing this podcast. I'd be spending my time with Elodie Young if I...
Come on, who's next?
Next, for the detective. Funny that you mentioned True Detective.
Oh, you did.
Woody Harrelson. Because he would that's the detective there. You can see they're quite similar.
Yeah, that'll
but
do.
he does angry and embittered quite well.
He's the older detective.
He's the older detective.
Right.
And for Dominic Reigns, who's very important, we have Oscar Isaac.
Oh, yeah, he's good, isn't he?
Oscar Isaac, I think, would be a good kind of innocent, naive reporter to wade in on all this.
You sure that's a picture of Oscar Isaac?
That's Oscar Isaac.
You sure that's not the guy from The Gifted?
No, that's Oscar Isaac. It looks
Okay.
very similar to the guy from The Gifted, though,
Yeah.
because the guy from The Gifted looks very like Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, that's true.
But it is Oscar Isaac. And then I don't think I picked... So...
Did you forget someone?
No, not really, but I just forgot to fill you in on that particular part. When we move on to season 2, because it'll be so successful from season 1,
Obviously.
it will move forward to the 70s. And it will focus on a new male character. I think it'll be the 80s, actually. But it's a guy called Nicholas Lash.
Oh.
The bleeding lash
Lash.
of a young fella. And he has to help Elodie finish this endless cycle of elder gods
Bad
being
eggs.
brought back and things like that. I think it might be modern era, actually. It could be 2000s. And I've chosen Cillian Murphy to play him because he's a very broody character. Unnecessarily broody.
Noted floppy fringe Cillian Murphy.
Noted floppy fringe, but very intense and oddly attractive.
Yes, and from Cork.
From Cork. He's a very soft man from Cork. Talks like that.
Yeah.
Unless he's in Peaky Blinders, in which case he talks like this. Now you listen here, Ida. You're a Shelby. You should. It's amazing.
Good.
Anyway, that's
And
that's
come here.
what I think should be
Is the
adapted
comic
into a
worth
television
picking up?
The first run is.
Okay.
worth picking.
As usual.
The first 5 issues are great. I would say the first 10, you can pick them up in a very nice hardcover.
Don't do hardcovers.
Fair enough. You can pick them up in 2 trade paperbacks then.
Great.
1 to 5 and 1 to 5 to and 6 to 10 respectively. So yeah,
Thanks, Ben.
you can do that.
Good recommendation.
Cool.
Have you ever heard of Hack Slash?
I am briefly aware of it. It is a fetishization of all the wonderful 80s horror movies.
Pretty
that came
much,
out.
yeah. Pretty much. Look, this is not a deep comic book.
No, but that's okay. Horror is rarely deep.
You take that back.
No, I stand by it.
This is a shallow-ish comic book about a sexy lady and a monster man fighting other monster men.
So it's horror movies then.
Well, I think the writer, Tim Seeley, writer/artist Tim Seeley,
Yes.
I think he thinks... I hate to put my words into someone else's head. It's not a very good thing to do. But he looks at it from a... If you're going to be exploitative, you might as well be empowering.
Fair.
So it's the classic... You see, the thing about why I kind of convinced myself against this being a good candidate for adaptation is it has been done quite a lot recently in the girl who survives the classic horror and becomes a monster.
Comes back.
Making it into a series would be very like Supernatural, but with a girl and a monster instead of 2 brothers.
They already tried that, I think.
They
did.
had that
They had
spin-off
that
about werewolves.
ill-fated
That was
spin-off.
stupid. So anyway, Hack Slash. Cassie Hack is a lady.
Subtle.
She's a sexy lady, and her she was very plain.
Does she wear fishnet stockings?
She wears fishnet bodies.
Is she mildly gothic?
She's quite gothic.
Mm.
Yeah, look, there's a reason I like it, Ben.
Mm.
So
You have a type.
what is it? Come on?
Alternative.
Let's forget about comics. Let's just criticize each other. Come on, let's go. This is finally it. It's coming to a head. Right.
Why was that?
No, you don't analyse me. You don't analyse me. That's not how this works. We talk about comics.
What was that?
We talk about comics. We don't analyse each other.
Is this the turning point?
Shut up. What was I saying? What was I saying before you upset me?
She's a lady.
She's a lady, that's what it was. And when she was in school, she was bullied.
I'm sorry. I
Shut
didn't mean to upset.
You did upset me. I'm angry now.
I can see that.
My birthday last week.
I'm very sorry.
Sorry. So it was
Went to a haunted house last week.
yeah, it was great.
Sorry, she's a lady.
She's a lady, and when she was a child, she was bullied. And her mother was the lunch lady at school. And she killed all the kids who were bullying Cassie and cooked them for lunch.
Like the Treehouse of Horror episode from The Simpsons.
Yeah, actually. But that's probably based on something itself as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm sure there's probably a famous serial killer that did something.
So Cassie discovered this as a child and
Wow.
stopped her mother and witnessed her mother's suicide. And in the world of Hack Slash, slashers, your classic slasher is your Michael Myers,
Your
your
Jason.
Jason Voorhees, your Freddy, I suppose. But your slashers are people who died in some horrific way and come back angry. But they're not ghosts.
So they're like revenants.
The government in the comic book calls them revenants.
Oh, that's useful.
So her mother then came back as the lunch lady, who was a slasher, a revenant, who had, like, she was very resistant to injury and all that
Okay, so it fits in with all the classic things of why didn't that work in the film when you're in the cinema and you're like,
exactly.
oh, come on. And now it has an
stuff. Very much invented by Michael Myers in Halloween.
Yeah, who just keeps taking abuse and coming back.
But that was unheard of until that point.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. The bit, like, you know where... Have you seen Halloween 1 where Michael Myers gets shot by Loomis? He shoots him 6 times and he falls off the balcony.
Yeah.
Before that, audiences had no reason to think the next time Loomis looked over the balcony, Michael Myers wouldn't be there.
Right.
These days, we obviously very much do.
It's a jump scare.
But it's not a jump scare.
Well,
It's just gone.
Ah, okay.
It's like the bullets in the fall didn't kill him. How did they not kill him?
What? Yeah.
Because why would you think there was anything supernatural happening in that movie?
That's true.
Anyway, that's the world Hack Slash lives in.
Cool.
And it's a sexy lady and a monster fighting other monsters.
What's the monster?
The monster is called Vlad.
Oh.
He's a kind of mutant-y thing, but not mutant in an X-Men way. He's just a big deformed man.
Yeah.
And he was raised by a butcher.
Oh.
And the butcher taught him butchering skills. So when Cassie comes across him the first time, she sees this big deformed guy who's good with meat cleavers. And thinks he's the slasher. He turns out not to be, and then they help each other to kill the real slasher.
Aww.
And then they team up.
Aww.
Isn't that lovely?
It's quite nice.
The internet, they've made a couple of efforts to make this into a movie already. It was optioned by a real bad bloke.
Oh.
What was his name?
Harvey Weinstein?
No, not him. I've not written his name down. Anyway, the bloke who was optioned by, he has a funny name.
Is it the dope that did Inhumans?
No, it was the dope who did the following films.
Oh.
Right, ready? Live Free or Die Hard.
Oh, fuck.
Another Day to Die Hard.
Oh, Jesus.
X-Men Origin Wolverine.
Ugh.
And Swordfish.
Oddly out of step.
With Halle Berry's boobies.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, look, it's great that this hasn't happened. But the internet wants Alison Scagliotti.
Help.
She was in Warehouse 13.
Yes.
She had red hair in that.
Yes. She's black. Claudia in that, isn't she? Yeah. I know her.
She'd be great for it.
She'd be quite good.
If we look, the way to save this.
Do you find her sexy?
Yes, she's very attractive.
I don't.
All right.
I watched her play.
Well, you have a type, don't you?
Yeah,
gotcha.
sexy. Apparently, but I saw her play a very irritating character, and it left a poor taste in my mouth.
In what?
And Nickelodeon. Do you remember Drake and Josh?
Generation.
You're way ahead of me in that regard, and probably just as well. She plays Josh Peck's girlfriend.
Does she?
In the final seasons of Drake and Josh, and I know this because I used to babysit my little sister, and she wouldn't go to bed unless she got to see Drake and Josh.
Oh.
And she's the most irritating, obnoxious character ever. And I couldn't see her in anything since, even though she's very good in Warehouse 13.
Yeah, she's doing acting, Ben.
But I don't separate church and state.
The way to save this would be to give it to Sam Raimi and say, Sam Raimi, make this a movie. Have you seen Drag Me? No, not Drag Me to Hell. Is that? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Do it like that.
Is that very kitsch?
Yeah, it's a bit gross.
On the nose.
Yeah, it's like that's how you'd save it. Give it to Sam Raimi. Say, Drag Me to Hell.
Go on, go have some Book
fun.
of the Dead fun.
Take her out of the fishnets. Put her in a pair of leather trousers and a t-shirt. Give her a baseball bat.
Don't fetishize it too much. Take it easy.
Too much.
Take it easy.
Alright, next.
Nice. So, the other one is less horror-y than my previous pick. It's American Vampire by Vertigo Comics. But this one has Stephen King.
Oh, I like Stephen King.
Stephen King and Scott Schneider teamed up in 2010 to create...
Schneider?
No, Scott Schneider.
Okay, that's fine.
The one who rebooted Batman and made him all big again. Teamed up in 2010 for Vertigo Comics, and they created American Vampire, which is a story that features around a woman called Pearl Jones. It's set in the 1920s.
You and the past.
I love the past.
Why is everything
love
always
the
the past
me. Love the past me. And it's real good. It's all about vampires, obviously.
Are they from England?
I think Stephen King came up with the idea. Some of them are from England.
Oh, shit.
It's very important. And I think Stephen King came up with the idea, and Scott Schneider turned it into a comic. I think that's kind of how it basically worked. So it centers around the idea that she's an aspiring actress in the no talkies.
Yeah.
In the 1920s. And basically any kind of upper echelon part of 1920s America is run by European vampires, aristocratic vampires. Okay?
Is this a metaphor for Jewish people?
Not entirely.
But not
It couldn't not entirely be that way. No, but they're not Jewish. They're rarely Jewish. Okay. They're aristocrats from Europe.
Okay.
It's not Jews or vampires.
Are you sure?
That's not what it is.
Okay.
It's elitism versus working class, if anything.
Okay.
It's not a
David Icke lizard people conspiracy.
kind of, but not like it has a positive ending, and it becomes much more horror based as it goes along. Like, it loses all, like, this is just the dressing that sets up the initial thing. So, two very important characters. There's a famous outlaw called Skinner Sweet.
It's a great name.
From the West, from the Wild West. And he got his name because, first of all, he loved to skin the people that he killed. Cool. And second of all, he has a sweet tooth. So he's Skinner Sweet. And he is an outlaw, and he is technically the first American vampire. And that's very important.
American vampire. Away from me. American vampire. Honey, I'm still free.
Nice.
Don't come knocking round my door. Not gonna let you in no more. Now, vampire, stay away from me.
So, in trying to become a famous actress, she has to talk to producers. And it turns out the producers in Hollywood are...
sex offenders.
Oh, they're monsters, alright. But not the Weinstein variety.
Okay.
Because it's not a Jew hunt. Not... Oh,
fuck's sake, Ben. Every fucking episode.
Shit. That's not what I meant. I really need to stop opening my mouth.
Welcome to Race Baiting the podcast. Say something not racist, please.
Black people are cool?
Yeah, good.
She is to be... Basically, she's tricked into going to meet these producers. She's just a snack for them. They use this to feed on young women. So I guess it is kind of like Harvey Weinstein.
Hey!
Yeah. And basically, they think they've killed her. They haven't. Skinner Sweet finds her and transforms her into a vampire. Now, the reason he wants to do this is because he wants to get rid of the old guard of vampire. And the reason for that is, very much like Blade, there is a hierarchy of vampires.
Right.
And the classic vampires are European vampires, and they are everything that... exactly. And they dress very aristocratically, and traditional vampire weaknesses, no sunlight, no no silver, no running water, any of that. Okay? So... the interesting thing about the lore in this, and it doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's an interesting thing to do, is depending on where you're from, vampire blood will activate or will respond differently to every country or landmass. So you get Irish vampires are...
they break out into
huge,
a rash of potatoes.
Yeah, kind of like that. They're huge. They're called Gaelic Prime. That's what they're called. They're a very old breed of vampire, and they turn into huge bat creatures.
Oh yeah, good.
Yeah, so they turn into, like, they're a really formidable breed of vampire. The European ones are all vulnerable to sunlight and things like that. Each breed of vampire has a new weakness, but the latest breed of vampire, because America is a new place. Yeah, they're very powerful, right? And their weakness is undefined. They don't. The older vampires are trying to eliminate them because they see them as weaker or lesser.
Turns out that their weakness is a high-calorie diet.
No.
Makes them all fat.
No. That's just Americans. Gold is the weakness for those ones. So, have you seen any of the Stephen King vampire movies, like Salem's Lot?
Yeah.
You know the way they're all elongated and they have long claws and stuff like that? That's exactly what American vampires look like in the comic.
Like Steve Niles vampires.
Yes, exactly. So they're big, they have huge gaping jaws, they're very fast, they're very agile, and they're easily able to outclass, because they're not allergic to sunlight, because they're born in the desert in LA, so they're adapted to all that. And it's just basically her story against the older generation of vampires as we go along.
Sounds good.
Do with those. She falls in love with a human man along the way, and again... you would do different seasons in different timelines. I'm very much in love with this idea as we go. So very quickly, Dreamcast for this.
All right.
Dreamcast for this. American Vampire. Pearl Jones would be Emmy Rossum from Shameless.
I've never seen her before.
Do you know this woman? Okay, she's from the American adaptation of Shameless.
Okay.
She's quite popular. Her love interest would be Sam Claflin. His name is Henry. He's a musician. Sam Claflin. He's quite handsome. Generic kind of American handsome man.
Did you come across him last week when you were searching for an Apollo?
Yes, I did, because he would easily make an interesting Apollo. Then we have Skinner Sweet, who I picked, Dan Stevens.
Don't know who that... Oh,
Dan Stevens from Legion.
Yeah.
He looks very different, when he's handsome.
Yeah, he's all handsome there.
He's a very handsome man. This is from him in The Guest. But he gets very buff in The Guest as well. So he's very big and very strong. He's an Englishman, but he does a good American, as we know.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that's Skinner Sweet, so it would match just about. He changes in different eras, different haircuts, different dress sense.
Because he's a vampire.
The usual, because he's a vampire. That is Eli Block, who is the evil European aristocratic vampire.
Not Dracula.
Not Dracula, but very similar. Jason Isaacs,
I
think, would be a decent pick for him.
He's the evil captain on Starship Discovery.
Yes, he is. He is.
Good choice. Who's allergic to sunlight?
In Starship Discovery.
Star Trek Discovery, but yes.
Star Trek.
He injured his eyeballs.
And he has they get retinaed.
And he needs to have low light in his
quarters. Do you think
they
stole that from the Orville?
Does that happen in the Orville?
In the Krill episode.
Oh, yeah.
They're space
vampires,
episode,
isn't it?
Yeah, it's a great episode.
Anyway,
that's my pitch. I do it almost exactly as the comics, but I do it in mini arc per season in an ideal world.
I want to talk about Alan Moore.
Oh.
Noted weirdo Alan Moore.
Alan Moore. Norfolk's favourite son of weirdness.
Alan Moore loves Lovecraft.
He does.
He's a huge Lovecraft man.
He looks like something from Lovecraft.
He does a bit. But what Alan Moore dislikes about Lovecraft is Lovecraft's sheepishness. Fuck. Let me try that again. What Alan Moore dislikes about Lovecraft is Lovecraft's sheepishness. Fucking nailed it. And for example, Lovecraft was always going on about blasphemous rites and arcane.
It's a blasphemous rite.
Exactly, and arcane rituals and blasphemous rituals. And
do you think there's sexy blood stuff going on?
Yeah, exactly.
Blood, sex, magic.
Because Lovecraft is all about people getting pregnant with weird things.
Yes, and then it bursting about from body horror.
Not body horror. Because it doesn't burst out.
Oh no, what's the thing?
It's born.
What's that called again?
It's born and then hundreds of years later, generations later, the seed.
Havoc.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not...
Mike Mignola and Hellboy take a lot from cosmic horror.
Yeah. Like everyone does.
Yeah, everyone takes from it. Yeah.
You can't have horror without referencing
it. And the Crimson King.
Yeah.
All that. It's all cosmic horror. Basically a bunch of overpowerful beings that have complete control over humanity apart from one. Oh, sure, Stranger Things season 2 is likely to be entirely cosmic horror based by the looks
everything
of it.
is.
Sorry, back to your pitch.
So, it's not a pitch because I don't think it should be made into a movie.
Good.
Because Alan Moore, he's not shy on the out sexing and he's not shy on the out raping. So, I still like this comic book. It's called
Rape.
I'm not a fan of it myself, but it's called... This is the thing. Rape is part of H.P. Lovecraft.
It is.
But H.P. Lovecraft was so scared of women
and sex
and
penetration
that he never really said it. But women gave birth to hideous monsters after these blasphemous rituals.
And it probably wasn't consensually done.
Well, it probably was because they were cultists. Some of them. Anyway, the Neonomicon
is
I don't know what it is. It's a comic by Alan Moore.
Yes.
And Jason, but with a C.
Huh?
Jacen. Jason
Okay.
Burroughs. Anyway, it's based on it's a Lovecraft story. Alan Moore wrote it to be part of Lovecraft.
Well, he created the Necronomicon that you see in Sam Raimi's stuff.
Yeah,
H.P. Lovecraft.
H.P. Lovecraft did. He didn't create that Necronomicon.
No, but he created the concept of a book of...
The Necronomicon is also in The Mummy. The Brendan Fraser one. It's the book that they read from. That
classic.
Yeah, it's a great film. So, what am I talking about? Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Alan Moore wrote these stories. What's going on there?
Your laptop just rebooted itself.
Why did that happen? That's going to make a noise now. Between you insulting me and the computer making noises.
I insulted you once. I'm sorry. I take it back.
So, Alan Moore wrote these. Oh my God! Why can't I speak? Alan Moore wrote these to be part of the Lovecraft mythos. Sure. And these are set slightly in the future.
Oh.
Just slightly.
Oh.
Cities are protected by glowing domes to keep out the pollution and the rain and stuff like that. It's they're very interesting. It's about a pair of detectives from the FBI.
Oh, that sounds cool.
And they discover cultish goings on and go to investigate. I'm not going to spoil it because it's relatively new. The Neonomicon.
This is the big one that he wrote.
No.
This is the big monstrous thing.
No.
Oh, that's Jerusalem.
The Neonomicon was the sequel to a comic adaptation of an Alan Moore short story called The Courtyard. I'll spoil The Courtyard for you. The Courtyard is about a detective who's investigating some grisly murders.
Yes.
And he meets a character, and this character has a lisp
Indeed.
and a veil over his face.
Oh my.
And the character offers to take him to a club and sell him the new drug, Aclo. And he goes and he says something to him, the guy with the lisp. And it turns out that the drug isn't a drug, the drug is a language.
Oh.
And when you hear the language, it opens your brain
To the elder gods.
to the elder gods and blah. And then the detective
Very good.
kills people in the style of the murders he had been sent to detect.
Oh.
Look, it's good, but it is a bit rapey and a bit gruesome.
fuck's sake.
There's
Comic
a follow-up
books.
comic to it called Providence. Very good.
Okay.
Strongly recommend.
Alright. I will check out both of those things.
Yes. Also check out, have you ever heard of Mouth of Madness?
No.
It's a Sam Neill movie.
Ooh.
Well, actually, it's not a Sam Neill movie. It's a... Who made it? Just very slowly check my notes.
Is it in the notes?
My notes.
In the notes.
Who bloody made it?
Don't know.
Oh, John Carpenter.
Ah!
John Carpenter made it from 1994.
Noted horror
Yeah,
director.
it's great. It's a H.P. Lovecraft-esque story.
I'll
About,
take it.
watch it. That's my Halloween recommendation.
I tried to watch... What did I try to watch yesterday? Repo Man. With Harry Dean Stanton and Emilio Estevez. It's all about trans-dimensional, Lovecraftian, incomprehensible horror.
Is it?
With a smirky kind of smart aleck backdrop.
Is it good?
Terrible film. Harry Dean Stanton is good in it though.
He's dead now.
He's dead now, that's why I watched it. I only watch things when people have died. Apparently.
That's true.
That's my criteria.
See Thor there the other day.
He died.
It's fucking spoilers, Ben.
He died. No, Chris Hemsworth.
Oh.
He died on his way to the premiere. It's the whole thing. So I'm lying. It's a lie. It's a lie. I've dug myself into a hole.
Yeah. We wrap it up?
Yeah, let us know what you think. Cosmic horror, does it make you scared or does it make you hopeful for the possibilities of welcoming our saviors and salvators, the elder gods? Let us know in the comments below. Like, share and subscribe. Anything to add, Michael?
No.